Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Rangers. We're starting quick here on Season 2. We're already in to the Europa League Qualifiers second round here. There's a couple of movements in terms of the transfer market, so we're going to have a look at that. Bought in a lot of free agents that we're going to hope to build up for some potential sales in the future, and one or two of them are going to make the team. We've still got transfer business to do. We're only the 26th of July. Come back really early for these qualifiers. But we'll just run through what we've done so far in terms of the transfer business. We will be playing Rennes today, a really harsh second round qualifier to draw the French side already. But we'll do what we can here at Ibrox first. So having a little look, what we've transfer history. There we go. We brought in Liam Henderson, obviously Celtic's player Liam Henderson there, on a free transfer in the middle of the park. So I think he's going to be a great wee player for us. He'll develop really well for us. He's actually in currently as a backup player on £2.5 a week, so delighted to get him in that contract as well. So he can provide something for us there. He's a tidy little player. We've also brought in Dimitri Mitchell on the left hand side from Man United. 21 years old. He's never going to be a sensational player, but he's got some pretty nice stats. 18 acceleration, 17 pace. Means he can really bomb up and down that left side. He can dribble, he can cross, he can actually take a hell of a free kick. He's got a nice touch, good technique. Okay, not great at tackling, can't throw the ball, which is a shame for a fullback. He's a flair player. All of these mental stats really are a bit, lacking a bit. Not brave, poor anticipation, poor composure, concentration, bad decisions. So he's got a long way to go. But I'm just hoping we can bring him on a bit, maybe to win. Maybe to win himself a move somewhere else, maybe back down to England somewhere for one of the smaller teams, or either way I just want to make some money out of him, quite frankly. He's in as a hot prospect on £2 a week, which is quite a lot of money, but we have to remember he's coming from Man United, so we will expect a big contract. We've also brought in Jack Price, the defensive midfielder. He's come in from Wolves, I believe. Yeah, he was on loan at Wigan last season, played quite a lot of games in League One, but he's a defensive midfielder, or he can play in the centre as well. Pretty decent player, good first touch, marking, passing, can tackle, decent technique, good mental stats and decent enough physical stats. Not a brilliant dribbler or finisher or anything like that, but he's obviously going to be playing deep, playing some passes forward, breaking up the game, that kind of thing. 3 stars currently ranked by the coaches. He is worth already 3.8 million coming in on a free. He's on £7.5 and expects to be a first team player. So using a deeper midfielder is something we can possibly do with him. Him and Rossiter are on the same level at the moment. Rossiter's still only 21 years old, obviously a lot more upside in developing Jordan Rossiter going forward, but we can make a tidy little penny, I think, on Jack Price, brought in for 0 on a free and already worth 3.8, so hopefully we can move him on for some money. We've also brought in David Fopala, the striker from Manchester City, I think I'm right in saying. Yep, Man City. He was on loan last season in France. He's a decent player as well. He's got okay physicals. He's a bit lacking in terms of his mental stats. His off the ball particularly there. Really needs to move up. Concentration's not great. Decent anticipation. Finishing 11, composure 12. Decent first touch. Decent technique. So he's another one that we might be able to train him up and make some money on him. Not a bad player. Akram Afif, the left-sided player, coming in from, where was he actually officially playing? Was it Villarreal he played for? Al Sadd? I'm not entirely certain. He was on loan last season in the Belgian Pro League at Eupen. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, but he was on loan there last season. He did okay, but if we actually look at him, he's probably the one I'm most excited about on these frees coming in. He's got pace, he can dribble, good first touch, decent bit of flair, good technique, he can pass. Crossing only at 10, maybe needs a little bit of work, but he does prefer to be an inside forward. 2.9 million he's already worth. He's already got 25 caps. Okay, he plays for Qatar as in terms of his national team, but 25 caps is pretty good at only 21 years of age. Already worth 2.9, he's on 4.5k, so we can use him in the left, which is a side where we've had some trouble. We've also brought in Jakub Bednarczyk, as how I would try and pronounce that. He's a winger on the right side. He's got a lot of raw winger stats, decent pace and acceleration. He's got a bit of flair. He can cross the ball. Lots of other stuff lacking, but he's good technique. He can finish, makes good decisions, so he could be a decent player. We actually currently have a bid for him to go on loan to either Airdrie or Cali Thistle, so we can just see how he does. If we look, he's on £550 a week, so not a big risk at all. He's coming in from Bayer Leverkusen. So hopefully we can help him reach another level. In terms of players out, we're not getting a lot of fees for players, but we're moving a lot of wages off the wage budget. So Jason Holt has moved to Aberdeen for 200k. Hibernia have taken Harry Forrester for 210. Jack Alnwick has moved for 66k to Charlton. Liam Kelly's on loan at Dundee United. Josh Windass for 210k to Bolton. Graham Dorrans is actually away on loan to Birmingham, a fee where we're getting 85k per month for Graham Dorrans, so we're probably getting close to $1 million for that there. 100% of his wages are being paid, so if we actually look at his wages, that is 10k a week, so that's pretty good. Birmingham have an option to purchase him for 4.9 million at the end of the loan, which would be excellent if he took that up. Lee Hodson's joined Partick for 40k. Daniel Candeas has moved for 1.1 million to Sporting Gijon. Now that seems pretty low, especially since Candeas was pretty good for us last season, but he will be turning 31 years of age this season. He was on I think he was on 12k at Rangers as well. He was on a huge wage, so I just felt it was probably within our interest to get the money in for him and try and develop someone else on that right hand side if we are in fact going to go back to using wingers. Obviously at the end of the season we weren't using a winger at all, we were using fullbacks. So if we're going to go back to the fullbacks, Candeas is basically doesn't fit into the tactical approach, so he's gone for 1.1. Danny Finlayson's away to Inverness on loan, and Joe Dodu has moved to Estoril for only 200k, which is quite a bit below his value was at the time, but we got his wage off the bill, and he's a player, he's 23 years old already, and I don't really see too much in him, so we moved him out as well. So that's the transfers. If we actually look at the Ladbrokes Premier League transfers, we go to Celtic. Let's look at their business. They've spent 10.5 million, and they've brought in like 22k. So basically, they're just spending so much money. They've actually bought Sergio Padit, however you would pronounce that one, Dutch goalkeeper coming in from Groningen. They paid 4.5 million on him, despite Craig Gordon, the goalkeeper they already have, being the best in the league. They've brought him in. They've also bought Timo Königsmann, who's a German goalkeeper. So they brought two backup goalkeepers for a combined 4.6 million or something. They bought Miguel Vitor, and Portuguese defender. He came in for 2.3 million from Hapoel Beersheva. They bought Arnaud Sokwe from Nice, right back. He came in for 1.5, which is a pretty cheap deal for them. And they bought Tobias Badilla from Nancy. He is a left back, and they brought him in for 2.2. So Celtic could spend millions and not even feel it. We've made 3 million in profit. We've spent nothing thus far on transfers. We currently have a budget just under $1 million with 27k free. What I'm going to do just now, we'll go through and offer trials to all these lads who we can offer trials to. Scout a couple of players. Basically anyone who we can offer a trial to, I am offering a trial. The worst that can happen is they come in, they're not very good, and we don't take the punt on them, which is what we did with a couple of others. I just made a mistake there, didn't I? I just scouted someone who I meant to offer a trial to. And some of those, by the way, won't take the trial. Like Hatem Ben Arfa, I do not expect to take the trial, but got to bring him in and see what he says. At the very least, got to try and bring him in anyway. If he's not willing to come in on trial, then I'm not willing to take the punt on him anyway. So, right. Anyway, let's build the team for this game. We've got the goalkeeper here. We have Wes Fodringham, still the top goalkeeper for now until Ian Fulton develops a little bit more. The centre backs are still going to be Cardoso, Alves, and one more, which I'm torn between Milanese and Ross McCrory. I'm going to go for Ross McCrory. I'm going to try and develop him as a quality centre back, see what we can do with him. We know that Marco Milanese, who's rated the same as Ross McCrory, done very, very well last season. First on the right in a two-man pairing, but it's a three-man pairing now. Right only. We'll move Cardoso out to that side, which he doesn't really bother about. Side preference. He is right-footed, but it's not only, so he's a bit stronger on his left than McCrory. Right fullback, it's going to be Jordan Houston, since Tavernier is currently carrying an injury. Jonas Knudsen will be the left fullback. In the middle here, unfortunately Ryan Jack unavailable, so it will be Jordan Rossiter playing alongside Jamie Baronas there. We're going to go Carlos Pena, and he'll sit just in behind Herrera and Morelos. He'll support Morelos, and that is going to be that. For the lineup, we're going to have Ian Fulton on the bench, Milanese as well. Lee Wallace is still here, but we're going to go with Dimitri Mitchell ahead of him. Price is unregistered for European games, a little bit of an oversight on my part, that one. Jordan Thompson and Liam Henderson will both make the bench, alongside Michael O'Halloran and Mike Bromer, why not? He is currently wanted, Mike Bromer, by Kilmarnock on loan, which would be interesting. Kilmarnock are still in the Premiership, so if they elected to take him as a key player, I would definitely let that happen. Fodringham is wanted by Reading, Wolves and Huddersfield. They all want him on loan. I tried to actually sell him without transfer listing him, offered him out for 3.5. Nobody bid though, and Fodringham was quite upset that we tried to move him on, so I basically just smoothed that over. We won't be selling him. I was just curious if we could have got 3.5 million for him. I'd have sold him and promoted Ian Fulton to number one. Tried to use that money for something. McCrory's wanted on loan by Kilmarnock. Fabio Cardozo is wanted by Wolfsburg, so if we could get a hell of a fee in for Fabio Cardozo, that would not be bad. If we can get 7 million or so for him, I'd sell him. I mean, pretty much nobody in this team is unsellable. Aberdeen want to loan Michael O'Halloran. I tried to punt him for 1 million, but nobody's keen. Zach Rudden, Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock basically want our whole bloody team. But we're going to go with what we selected. We're going to go with that against Rennes just now. It's going to be a tough tie to try and get through. 4-4-1-1 from them. Johan Gorkuf being the main man, I think, who used to be a hell of a player on previous Football Managers. He was a player you wanted to sign for top clubs. Obviously his career didn't end up panning out that way. Jonatas goes back to Gorkuf and Bal, and Ibox is absolutely packing for this one, as you'd expect. Baronas nicking that one, puts it down to Rossiter. Hopefully we can take control of the ball in the early stages. Possession bouncing back and forth now, rocking about 50% of the ball. Percic will just lay this off to Andre. Andre coming forward now, down the right hand side, faced up by a defender, plays it into Danze. It's blocked very well. Baronas now, can he hit this forward? He can indeed. Morelos is off and running, got some support, but he is crowded. He does move it inside. Herrera with a perfectly timed ball to Pena, who hits it first time, and it's well wide. Should have took a touch there, Pena, I think. But a good sign that we might be able to damage them on the counter. As Percic goes in the book to join Baronas. 3 shots to nil in our favour coming up for the 20th minute mark as Houston throws it to Baronas, moves it on to Herrera, has Morelos in the centre if he can find him. He does choose to whip it in. Morelos goes for it, gets the head to it, but it is over the bar. Tight angle and a big ask for him to try and nod that one in, unfortunately. 6 shots to 0 so far. We have to win this game, you'd fancy, by 2 goals at least. I would expect us to probably get beat when we go to France. As Andre moves it on, there's a challenge by Houston, but he doesn't get it. It goes through to Gorkuf, tries to slip a ball through. McCrory will clear. Morelos is running. It's a brilliant touch by Morelos. Does McCrory have an assist? Morelos is in, he shoots. It's well wide of the mark though, and we keep letting them off. 7 shots to 0, and we're not winning yet as Castan plays it forward. Mawasa, I believe that would be there. Gorkuf playing it through. It's a chance for Jonatas. First time, and Fodringham makes the save. Looked a bit of a weak effort, but we have to be alert to this kind of thing. We're blowing chance after chance after chance. It just takes clubs with a little bit of quality. 1 chance and then a goal, and it's a brilliant save by Fodringham again from Gorkuf's header. Mawasa to take the corner now. And it comes, good delivery, away by Jordan Rossiter, good play from him. It's picked up by Pena now, should switch it to the right. He goes back to Alves, who has a man on. He plays it to Cardoso, and we do get out of that position. But all of a sudden, Rennes have had more efforts on target than us. We've only managed 1 on target from our 7 shots, which is really disappointing statistic. Houston now with the throw in though. Can we hit them before the break? We do deserve the lead, I would say, so it would be disappointing if we can't. Herrera goes flying, no foul. Forward to Jonatas, who takes a poor touch. Bruno Alves steps in, gets it to Houston now. Fakes the pass to McCrory, it looked like. Plays it to Pena now. Pena with the ball to Baronas. It's a good ball. He's forward, gets it to Morelos. And Herrera decides to have a shot, but it is well wide of the post in the end. Henderson, I'm going to come on for Baronas. I'm going to put Bromer on. I don't know why I feel that's going to work for us here. He's clearly an inferior player, but I'm going to bring him on and we'll see. Alves now scooping it forward. It's not a good ball. Houston will have to nod it on, but it will probably, yeah, it will just harmlessly go to Ball. 8 shots for Rangers so far, just 1 on target. Problems converting chances, clearly. I don't know if maybe the big stage is getting to the players as Bromer goes up for that one. He does flicker on. Herrera gives chase, but it is headed on well by Castan down to Mexer, was that? Bruno Alves to McCrory. Now Rossiter. Ball out wide to Jordan Houston. Takes a nice touch. Scoops it forward. It's a terrible ball. Percic manages to easily intercept that. Andre looking for Jonatas. In behind McCrory. It's not good defending by the young man. Jonatas shoots. Oof, and it's well wide. That was a bit sketchy though from young McCrory there, not keeping up with his man. And on the other mark now, we only have 1 substitution left. It's been a terrible game actually in terms of quality. We've been really piss poor. We've created some stuff, we've controlled the ball okay, but in terms of converting chances, we've been awful up front. Bromer has now actually picked up an injury, which is not good news. I think we might switch the formation, but let's just watch this first. Henderson to Rossiter. And it's Pena now, moves it on to Herrera. Good touch. Houston trying to overlap. It's a bad ball though. Mawasa back to the goalkeeper who will launch it towards Jonatas. McCrory with the header away. Rossiter picking that one up. That's good. You can simply go back to his man if he wants. So he goes forward to Henderson. Decent touch. Pena now. Henderson's looking exhausted out there. Pena tries to scoop a ball out wide. It's well intercepted, but a decent effort at the pass. Henderson now to Knudsen. Back to Henderson. To Rossiter, you'd feel. Yep. Through for Pena. Nope, turns his back. Now it's through for Pena. Pena for Herrera. Nice touch. Chance to finish. Herrera tees up Henderson, who smashes one. And it's a Rangers debut goal for former Celtic man Liam Henderson. Chuffed to bits for the young man. What can we do in terms of switching up our formation? We're going to have to take Bromer off. So who do we bring on? Do we just bring on O'Halloran? Yeah, I think we just bring on O'Halloran and make him a false 9 or something up there. And Herrera will move to the attacking duty of a complete forward. Let's confirm that. As Andre comes forward for Ren. Plays it out wide. To Sarr down the line. Come on, McCrory, deal with this. Sarr manages to get it. McCrory with a brilliant challenge. Well done, young man. He launches it forward towards O'Halloran. He moves it quickly to Herrera. Herrera moving it quickly for O'Halloran. That's lovely link-up play. Has to finish. O'Halloran! 2-0. 2 quick Rangers goals. Liam Henderson and Michael O'Halloran, 2 Scottish boys. Give a thought to Herrera, by the way. Oof, what a pass! He actually set up. He's the one that teed up Henderson as well. My God, brilliant from him to start the season. As Knudsen finds O'Halloran now, he plays it inside to Henderson. Come on, put them to the sword. Henderson now. He's got Houston. Down the line, he goes to Houston, he moves it inside to Rossiter, moves it to Pena now, Pena holding it up into Herrera. Can he find O'Halloran? He does. O'Halloran volleys it home, 3-0, and my God, what an excellent 10 minutes we've had. Rangers 3-0 up at home to Rennes. Let's hope this is us announcing ourselves back as a European force. And Herrera, 3 assists. 3 assists. Fucking beautiful from Herrera, if you will pardon my French. O'Halloran with 2 goals coming on late. He's definitely sent out a message that he deserves a shot. Done so well there up front, they couldn't handle him. And just during that 10-minute window there, we've absolutely unleashed and won the game 3-0. Obviously our next game, we're away in France against Rennes. At this point, we have to expect to beat them. Who's this guy? Karam. French Guinea boss was looking at Ludovic Ball. He wouldn't have been that impressed with him. Or any of the what do you call them? Rennes players. Sorry, my mind's elsewhere today. Andy Halliday is going for 300k to St Johnstone. That is a hell of a fee. We've done really well to get that fee for him. He's away to St Johnstone, of course, comfortably 3rd place last season, looking to build on that. If we take a look at him as a St Johnstone player, he looks bang average actually. St Johnstone, I'd probably say Andy Halliday's not even St Johnson level looking at him here, but we'll see. He's got himself 3k somehow as a first team player at St Johnson, so we'll see how he gets on. Bruno Alves wants to know why we let Andy Halliday leave. Maybe because he's rank rotten. Yep. He was a dressing room leader. Yeah, he's not the only one. He's saying we have other leaders, nobody with the same influence as Andy. Are you kidding? I think you need to forget about Andy and put the team first. It's a lot bigger than any individual. You're right, I'll move on past it. Thank God. What the hell was that? That was nonsense. Dejan Sarac, the Austrian, is on loan with us just now. Looks bang average, to be honest. He's a Lazio player, was on loan in Austria last season, didn't play many games. And we're not going to get to see him in any games just now. We'd like to play him during a friendly, but we don't have any of those. We've got to play Rennes again, obviously. Can't play any trialists in that one, even if we would want to, which we wouldn't. Hearts have made a deal as well. Sunderland coming up 2 days after Rennes will be a chance to look at some trialists if we get any more in. Yeah, the squad numbers for the Premiership, who cares? And the Cup is getting underway now. Preston 6-1 winners there. Don't really know why it's telling me that, but there you go. Lots of friendlies obviously being played today. So against Brora that Inverness Cali just won 3-1. I wonder if our loanee played, young Finlayson. Get a report on that if he did. No, I don't see any report on it. Graham Doran's playing well for Birmingham in their friendly match. Hopefully he plays well for them and they choose to take that 4.9 million auction. He's a good player, Graham Dorans, but I don't feel he's any more than good. I just think he's a good player, you know. I actually think I'm going to change one of my offers. One of my trial offers I'm going to make a real offer. I'm going to look at Hakim Mastour, who's currently a free agent. Obviously let go by AC Milan. Lazio and ourselves have offered him a contract. We actually currently we can withdraw a trial offer and then try him offer him a deal. I don't know if that's going to upset him then, or I just seen that Lazio had offered him a deal. So the fact that they've only offered him a trial means he might come to us on trial. I don't know. I was just a little worried if they'd offered him a contract. Then he would obviously be rejecting our move. Baronas is a key player to St Johnson. I don't think so. And Jakub Bednarczyk is moving indeed to Inverness Cali Thistle, who are now in League 1, by the way. So we should rip that league to pieces. Hopefully that will help his development, get a bit of confidence in him. Stranraer beat Hearts on penalties there. Erdem Sen we're not going to look at anymore. I've had a little look at him. He's a decent player, but we'd have to spend a couple of 100k on him, which I'm not willing to do unless it's an excellent player. We have 1.1 million currently in the coffers. We have a little look here at people who are transfer listed, like so Jason Denier, Mohamed Besic. We don't have money for these kind of guys. Matt Miazga, 3.7. We don't have the money for him either. Pablo Mari, 3.2. We don't have that either. I mean, we really don't have the money to buy anybody. Nicholas Bentner, we're definitely not going to buy him. Jay Fulton would be a good addition. 2.1 million we don't have, but then again, we've got enough players in the centre and midfield, I think. Jamie Murphy, Butterfield. What about Jamie Murphy? 1.3 million. I think he's an okay player, but I don't think we're spending any money on really. Ashley Williams would be a good one to get. 975k. Yeah, I think Ashley, although he's on £70,000 a week, so there's no way we'll afford his wage. A lot of these players are like that, unfortunately. The kind of wages that they demand for what they are far too high. But we're just going to move on and play Rennes just now. We'll get some more of the transfer stuff done off screen. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the thinking behind what we're doing at the moment. We're trying to obviously get in some quality players in the hopes to maybe challenge Celtic for the title. The board seemingly have learned a lesson from last season. They now only expect us to qualify for the Europa League, which essentially means that they'd be okay with second place in the league. Which in a sense is good, because they've realised that we're too far behind Celtic in terms of quality to challenge them already. But it's also kind of stupid because they expected to win the league last season when we were a poorer side. So it's kind of daft that we've gotten better and the board expectations went down. But I'm going to take it. It's going to mean that we'll be able to stay on our job for longer. Rolando is going to Levante. He's rejected our offer, which is fine, I suppose. Finlayson did play against Albion Rovers. He played poorly with a 6.3. Bednarchuk played as well, a 7.5, and got an assist. So a good game for the young winger there. That's nice. We are now playing against Rennes. We're hoping for another good result here. Maziz trial finishes, which is fine because he was rubbish. Okay. Morelos is wanted. Who by? Freiburg. James Tavernier's ready to start stepping in, but we're not going to bring him in yet, I don't think. Against Rennes now, we are just going to play the same squad. We're not going to mess about with it too much. We want to make sure that we get the job done here. They're still going 4-4-1-1, which I find a little strange. The media have given you a lot of credit, back that up. Yeah, I would expect Rennes at home, needing at least 3 goals today, would go a bit more adventurous than 4-4-1-1. But maybe the manager's got some kind of philosophy. Bal and Gourcuff come into this game both carrying injuries. It's 15 minutes on the clock already, and we look to be handling this as Mubeli has to come off for Rennes with an injury. All sorts of injuries on the Rennes side. I would almost feel sorry for them if I just didn't feel sorry for them. Why is this big booked thing here in the way? It goes forward to Jonatas now. Jonatas coming forward. He plays it out to the right. Sarr getting forward. Not good defending. It's cut back, but Baronas has tracked it. Come on, counter-attack now. Peña takes a nice touch forward to Herrera. He's got Rossiter bombing forward. He tries to play it to Herrera. It's not a good pass. Mexer to Bal now. And Andre as they try and counter the other way. Sarr back to Castan. And it's Sarr again. Surrounded by Rangers players. We're pressing well. Forward it goes to Bal and then Gourcuff and Percic, and Jonatas is going to make the run through, you'd feel. No, it goes into feet for Jonatas. Out wide. Oh, Knudson's nicked it. Peña now, come on. We get a goal here, I think the game's over. They'd need 5. Herrera, Morelos, perfect pass. Baronas, square. Herrera's touched it and then hit the post. I think that was a bit messy. I don't know if any of them particularly wanted to have that one themselves there. Too many passes, I think. But we're absolutely bossing it here. I'm surprised at that. Injuries or no injuries, you'd expect them at home to have much more of the play. As the ball's being whipped in now from the corner, headed down, and Ismaila Sarr manages to sweep it home. Apparently, some floating invisible player has been booked, so we need to watch that. Let's see if we can get rid of it actually by... Yeah, there we go. So 1-0 to Rennes, an undeserved goal. Has the French side back in this one, but hopefully we're going to manage to see this out. If they score another one, I'll be worried now. Throwing into Gourcuff. Let's just defend. Sliced. Knudson's chest isn't great. Ismaila Sarr has another one. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There's not a lot of Rennes fans here to see this one. But the fans who have turned out will now be buzzing because Rennes have a real chance of overturning our 3-0 win. They're going to have to be absolutely put on blast for this. It was atrocious. Who's booked? Houston, Knudson and Rossiter are all booked. Rossiter is going to come off. Who will we bring on? I really don't know who to bring on. We'll bring on Milanese. We're going to sit him just in front of the defence. We're going to pull back Peña. He can be an advanced playmaker. Baronas can be a deep-lying playmaker. What does Milanese do? Milanese can be the anchor man in there. We'll just go more standard now. We might try and play longer balls. More direct passing. Slightly deeper we're going to play. Don't need to be more expressive. You can still get stuck in, that's fine, and look for an overlap. So, here we go, second half. Need to be more robust at the back. We're hoping that young Milanese can do that in there in that defensive mid position. He's done well when he's come in to play centre back, despite statistically not looking that great. His attributes aren't brilliant, but he's done really well in terms of his play. As a cross is blocked and goes out. There's plenty of players that go the other way, by the way. There's plenty of players with immense stats, and when you play them, they just don't kick their arse. So hopefully Milanese will be the opposite of that. And on a consistent basis, as Wes Foderingham has to claw the ball off the line, it's not a good start to the second half of that. And Gorkuf coming off for Erasmus now, Kermit Erasmus. And all we need is one goal. We get one goal and all of a sudden they need three. But Brandon whips it in. It's taken down. You should not be able to trap a ball at your feet from a corner. Whipped in now again by Brandon. And Sarr hits the bar. Almost a hat-trick. Terrible defending. Tighten up, guys. Come on now. It's whipped in by Brandon. Sarr is unmarked and gets his hat-trick. This is shocking defending from the corners. What the fuck are we playing at? Show some passion. Come on, boys. You're just letting them get back into this now. And the 3-0 is overturned. And Herrera and Morelos both playing really poor. We're going to throw on O'Halloran for Morelos. False 9. Herrera will be more attacking. That's what undone them when we played the previous tie. I'm going to go with Mitchell for Knudsen. Not because I have faith in Mitchell or anything, but just because Knudsen is so bloody exhausted. Percic has a free kick. He's pinged that in towards Bal, who nods it. Oh my god, beyond Wes Foderingham. It is 4-0 and we are heading out. This is an absolute shambles. This reminds me a lot of what happened last season when we played against Hajduk, the Croatian side. And we had a massive chance, took a lead away to Croatia. We went defensive in that game, ended up getting beat by inviting them on too much. This game we've kind of done the opposite. This game we've went out, decided we were going to go for them pretty much, decided we weren't going to switch it up and invite them on. And what's happened? We've ended up bloody getting beat anyway. We were dominating early on, and then it's almost as if they flicked a switch to start playing properly, and then we just couldn't deal with them as it's whipped in towards Jonatas and it's tipped over by Wes Foderingham. Terrible, terrible day as Rennes are 4-0 up and heading through. Still, one goal does change this for us. One goal and they will need to score again. Oh my god, they've scored. It's 5-0. Benjamin Andre for Rennes. We need 2 goals all of a sudden. And so much for my theory, if we get 1, they won't be able to get 5. They already have 5. We don't even have our 1. Statistically, such an even game. But on the scoreline, we've been fucking ruined. And what an absolute downer to start the episode. Fodringham's kick should be it. It is. Rennes are going through, we're going out. And they have to get put on blast for that. Taking a 3-0 lead away, you should not be getting beat 5-0 and letting them overturn it. We don't have ours 1 to 2 days, but I mean... Gutted. Absolutely gutted about that. We're out of Europe again early on. 5-0. I honestly can't square that with how the game was going early on. We were doing well. We were creating something. We had 6 shots or something when they had 1. And then it just turned. And every single attack was Rennes over and over again. It was terrible. It was absolutely shocking. We need to improve big time. I mean, if we look at the confidence, it's going to be super low on that, yeah. 20%. I would like to think they'll understand why we went out to Rennes. Let's see. Competition performance, Euro Cup. They can understand that the team had a difficult draw. Well, at least it's something, but horrible way to start the first episode. I mean, we can take positives from the first leg result, but that was a shocking turnaround. Much work to be done. I hope you guys have enjoyed the start of the second season. We've obviously had a really, really bad result there to finish off our episode, but there's positive signs. There's a lot of young players that are coming through. They played so well against Rennes in the first leg that gives me faith that this team can go forward and do something. This is a project. We're not aiming to try and, have a quick fix, bring in a lot of guys who are 33, 34 on ridiculous wages and try and beat Celtic quickly. That's kind of what Rangers sort of tried to do when they brought in guys like Senderos and Kranjkar, and it fell flat. So we're trying to go the opposite way and use some youngsters. Unfortunately, when you do use youngsters, they sometimes can have a stinker. I mean, Jordan Houston was a youngster in that game. McCrory as well, Baronas in the middle of the park, you know, Rossiter in there as well. Rossiter didn't play that game, but yeah, we've got a lot of young players, and unfortunately you can get a stinker, but that's still unacceptable. We had enough senior players with Alves, Cardozo, Fodringham, Herrera, Morelos, and Knudsen, and it just didn't work for us. Pena as well. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was a shocking result, and the Rangers fans, I would imagine, will be appropriately aggrieved, shall we say. So we're going to have to turn that around. We're going to have to get them back on side when we face St Johnstone away up in Perth on the 12th of August in 10 days' time to start the Premiership. We have to go out there against the team who was comfortably third last season and batter them. I don't want to go there and get a nice ground out 1-0 victory. I want to go there and show that we are a far superior team and we're going to be closer to Celtic this season and just leave the rest of the league in the dust. If Celtic win the league this season, I want it to be because they've beaten us in Old Firm games rather than because they've done better against the rest of the riffraff. All we can do, take care of the riffraff, and then every head-to-head against Celtic, we need to hope we get something, because we obviously know we're going up against a superior quality team when we play them. But I don't want to prattle on too long now. I know this episode's been a longer one since we were looking at transfers and so forth. The game was a shocker. I'm going to hold the hands up to that one. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you're excited about the start of the season with these young players to see how they develop. If you please leave a like on the series if you are looking forward to it. It does help the channel. If you want to follow the series, any series on the channel, we also have an AC Milan series on the go, which is going into its second season as well. You can subscribe to the channel, which I'd be eternally grateful for. But overall, thanks for watching the videos, and I'll see you next time when we're going to take on St Johnstone and Ross County, and we're going to make it up for that shocking result in France.